Hey everyone, welcome back to FTB Revelation. Since I last left off, pretty much just been doing a little bit of waiting around, and in doing so, kind of testing out how I actually wanted to, set up this room down here for Void or Miner. We actually have this little bit here that heads off into our mines, which is a second way we have access to it currently. And just letting this thing run, having to replace some of our fuel rods a little bit here and there because, we're using a lot of power for not just this, but among other things as well, just time, passing and doing stuff. So this is basically everything we've gotten so far, probably I'd say in about 2-3 hours. So not horrible, definitely not too bad at all. We almost have a block's worth of erodium crystals, which we need 6 of these in total, so we'll need about another 5 more, which is gonna take a while probably till we can get to the tier 2 void ore miner. So we're just gonna kind of let that work. Now another way we can actually go about doing that is pretty much setting up a couple of these and just kind of letting them run, in which case, we'll probably get a lot more of that rhodium a little bit quicker. So I also went ahead and set up between episodes, because I did run out of power for a little bit, this little system here. Now, I had run out of one of these fuel rods. I had a few of these sitting in here. I had about, I think, 13, 14 or something like that in here. And one of them was depleted. It was just sitting here, basically, and it just stopped working. So as soon as I removed that, it started working again. So I'm not really too sure what's up with that. I went ahead and just whitelisted this particular fuel rod we have in here to just extract to this chest. So I'm not really too sure what happened there and why that was doing that. I thought, it would be fine because, they can stack. We saw it in the chest. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but anywho, today I want to work on something. We're just gonna take a little breather and just kind of work on something a little bit more simple. I'm gonna go ahead and refill our jetpack here as I go ahead and say that is one of the things I want to work on today, and upgrading our ability to move around. Today, I think we'll be able to get that done, and maybe even possibly upgrade some of our armor slots, because the only jetpacks we really have available in this particular pack are these things here. So the Cinder Jet, I don't believe, is something you can actually use for flight. I'm not entirely sure on that. I think it has other purposes, but I could be wrong. We have the jetpack from Advanced Rocketry, which I am not entirely sure how good that is, but I'm assuming it also takes up a chest slot, which is a little unfortunate. Now, the electric jetpack we actually have and we're using at the moment is pretty cool in the sense that we can use this with the jetpack attachment plate and attach this to literally any piece of armor or chest piece in the pack currently, which is really neat. But the downside to that is it still only has 30,000 EU to store and use, but there are some other little things we can do with it and make from the jetpack to actually increase it, but instead I'm going to probably go a different route. Today, I think I'm going to go ahead and start working on getting an angel ring. I think that would be pretty cool. Plus, I like the creative flight version. Now, it's not free by any means. We are going to need to not only make the angel ring, but we're also going to have to supply it with its own type of power that it uses to, allow us that flight. So I went ahead and went out. I've got some golden lassos. We're going to need to start off with a chicken and a golden lasso, which I have right here. We'll also need a squid. So let's go ahead and grab these things and let's type in angel ring, see what we can do. So I don't think I've actually made this particular recipe yet myself, but this is pretty interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and run through this real quick, get these little bits done, which is unfortunate because I believe we actually need to go kill some squids, which is fine. We have a few nice bodies of water in the area, and squid seem to spawn pretty, quick and in numbers around here, so I'm not too worried about trying to find a squid. I'm sure one will pop up here any second. Come on. You guys can do it. I have faith in you. There's usually always squid back here. Oh, there's some. I just kind of find it funny that when you're talking about it and you're like, oh, they're always here, and then it never happens. That's just a little strange. Hey, you little guy, come here. Oh, there's 4. I'm going to grab a few extra because it seems like lately I've been needing some dye, some black dye for all of this stuff. Now, there's other methods, obviously, to, go through and get these things, but yeah, this should be fine. What are we at now? 19? Wow, that was easy. It's awesome when you have looting 3 on your sword, so... Now, this is the other downside is, the jetpack's pretty nice. You can get around fairly quick with it, but it's a little slow sometimes. Paired with the slime sling, it does amazing. It does a great job. But we could probably do better. Plus, I like the thought of having that creative flight, like I said, because that in itself is very helpful for building. Alright, here we go. Now, obviously, I don't have to do that in this. We have our wireless one as well we can do this in, but no big deal, no big deal. And I always kind of forget. So the last little bit we're going to need is we're also going to need to find a bat. This might take me a little bit to do, but the other one, we need a ghast. Now, a ghast isn't going to be too hard to get. We do need, I believe, a different type of lasso, though. We need a cursed lasso. So, if you guys remember, we made our cursed earth with a drop of evil, and thankfully, we have a nice little drop of evil left to use. So let's go ahead and combine those two together to get that guy there. And I think we also still have another lasso spare one. Why are these two not stacking? That's interesting. That's very interesting. Probably because I might have made some lassos at different times, I think. And I assume updating maybe changed the numbers or something. I have no clue. I really don't know. But anyways, we should be able to find a bat pretty easily. We have our mini map to really help us out on this. I believe I have it set up to show mobs and other things. So if I just kind of hang down here a little bit, I should be able to see something kind of pop up here relatively soon. Now, a lot of these bigger caverns we made from our EFLN explosions should really help spawn some of those little fellas around here. And with the jetpack and they're flying, it should be able to be pretty easy for us to just kind of find or capture it. Not necessarily find, but as you can see, I'm not really finding anything. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut. You guys can probably imagine capturing a ghast is going to be fairly easy, but I have to find one first as well. So I'll come back after I grab the bat and we find a ghast in the nether. Once I find the ghast, I'll actually pick back up and we'll go from there. So I'll see you guys back in just a second. Alright guys, and we're back. So just literally walking into the nether here, managed to grab a bat. Finally, it took me a few minutes, but I did manage that. Walking right in, we've managed to find a ghast. Now, here's the deal about these cursed lassos. This guy's going to shoot at me here in a second, but that's fine. The thing is, we do have to damage this ghast a little bit before we can actually capture him. We're going to run up to him and just kind of check this out real quick. See, have to reduce him down to 2 hearts, so we're just going to... God, he's loud. We're going to try not to die and do this quickly. Just kind of poking him with this lasso here. Ah, that ear-piercing sound is horrible, but there we go. Just kind of poking him there, because if we use any other type of weapon, we're probably going to nearly kill it. Especially with our, cleaver here. Pretty much would probably be a one-shot. Most of our other tools have a pretty decent amount of damage as well, so just kind of poking it, because it doesn't really have a lot of health anyway, is probably the best decision, or best choice, honestly. Now, we have that, we have just about everything, and I think we are pretty much about ready to get this show on the road, which I believe we can actually go ahead and... No network power, there we go. Doing that thing again. So I looked through all the config options, trying to figure out the deal with the whole chunk loading bit. I might have to come up with a system to find a different chunk loading method if that is indeed the case. But as you can see, we have power, but yet our system's not working. And literally nothing was getting power. But I think it's just mainly our system, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and get back to our angel ring, which we're working towards. And let's go ahead and grab everything we need there to get our angel ring. So you can see it uses 32 grid power in order to operate. So we're going to need some way to produce grid power. Now we can actually equip this into our bobble slot, but taking this off, you'll notice it kind of wants to do it when you double tap, you know, spacebar in order for it to kind of seem like it wants to jump back on and work again, but it's because it has not enough power. So what we're going to need to do is check out at extra U, which is extra utilities 2, and find a good generator. Now first, we're going to want to make this guy here, the resonator. The resonator is going to require a block of coal, some redstone, and these little resonating redstone crystals that we've been getting from mining redstone. So we should have a plentiful amount of that. Let's go ahead and type in resin so we can make the resonator, which I need a block of coal, apparently. There we go. And we have ourselves the resonator. Now this little fella right here actually still requires grid power in order to work. So let's find a nice little place to call home for this guy. I'm actually not entirely sure where I want to put it. I guess for now, let's just put it kind of back here in the back part of this hall. I think that'd be just fine. So we're going to need a way to produce a little bit of grid power. So let's go ahead and do extra one more time, extra utilities. And we're also going to need a chunk of stone. Now, generally, I believe this is kind of the one you want to start off with. I think there's some other methods because we need stone burnt in order to do this, but I think that is the only way to actually get power to start off with until... Actually, no, you have the solar panel. The solar panels do work, but we're just going to go and use the manual mill. So, polished stone is a little bit of just regular, I believe, stone, or is it stone bricks? I believe it would be stone brick. So let's get some stone brick made and make up some of these polished stones. So let's go ahead and do the mill. We have just about everything we need. Okay, I don't have any redstone torches made, but that's easily fixable. And we're just going to do this for a minute until we have enough stone burnt so we can start making some more generators. Now, I don't believe this actually needs to touch. As you can see, just right-clicking on this generates the power. So as long as we're right-clicking on our... Oh, wow. Okay, so right-click on it once, it enables it. I'm not even touching anything right now. And then you just move off of it, it stops. Or I'm assuming another right-click. No, left-click will stop too, if you're looking at it. So there we go. We'll place our polished stone inside of here. Let this do its thing. I want to kind of just get an idea real quick of how long this is going to take. Okay, so that fully cancels it out. Does it pick up where it left off? It does. Okay, cool. So what I'm thinking, oh, that still works while I'm doing this. Oh, that is super cool. So we can sit here and talk for a second while we're actually generating some of this stuff. This is pretty neat. That is very cool. So we have the option to use a few of these different types of mills. Now, obviously, one of the best ones here is going to be the dragon egg mill. It says power given 500 grid power, but in order to get this to work, you're actually going to need not only nether stars, but you're also going to need a dragon egg, I believe. So you're going to have to kill the dragon and kill the wither twice in order to get this guy working, which isn't, you know, the worst thing in the world. At least you probably won't ever need grid power ever again. But we also have the lava mill, which is one of my favorites and usually might go to, as it produces 4 GP, and you can just kind of set this up in a nice small area. I'm thinking about actually going with the fire one, but let's see as far as terms of resources go. The fire mill would be pretty neat, I think. I don't think I've actually used the actual fire mill, but this one actually shows 0 to 40 GP, progressive energy efficiency loss, 0% to 40 GP. Now, we're only going to need 32, as that's all we're really going to be using, is 32 for flight, as we don't have any other things running, like any transfer nodes. I don't believe we have any other machines or anything of that nature running, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Now, as far as getting enough GP to actually run our angel wings, we're going to want 8 of these. So 8 times 6 is what, 48? Yeah, I believe so. So we're going to need 48 stone burnt, redstone gear, resonating crystals, and some nether brick fence. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to sit here, and I'm going to go get some more polished stone made. I'm going to let this do its thing until we get enough of the stone burnt we need, and we'll be back in just a minute once we start getting ready and set up to set up our fire generators. So, see you guys back in just a second. Alright guys, then we're back. So I got all of our stone burnt and a little extra made actually, ready to go. I'm just going to toss some of this netherrack into our redstone furnace here and let that start cooking up real quick as I go ahead and make a few nether brick fences. So this should... Oh wait, hold on. How do we make these little... Oh, do we need the actual... We need actual bricks, right? I do believe so. Nether brick fence. Oh yeah, we're actually going to need actual bricks for this. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to need 8 of these. So there we go. There's enough of those for the time being. Now if we just type in mill, we should be able to click on our fire mill, which I actually call this a generator when we left off, but no worries. There we go. More than enough. We got 4 times 8 is going to give us our 32, and hopefully that'll be more than enough. Now, I'm assuming I might want to pick up my resonators. My resonator will wind up using GP, or grid power in this case, but if we grab some netherrack, we can actually go ahead and set up this nice little system somewhere, which I'm thinking about maybe doing in the floor in here somewhere. Maybe off over here on this side. I think that might be kind of neat. Maybe doing like a strip. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe taking it back one more block. So that's why it's not right at the door. You know what I mean? And then what we'll do is we'll put another piece of glass above this. And then we can kind of see the animation. So it kind of works into our build as well. So if we do that, we put the glass there. Okay, that should work. Actually, no, we need to go down one more block. And this, now this is a little unfortunate as this is kind of hitting into my, my mine here. Oh crap. I totally forgot I didn't get my jetpack on. Whoops. It's alright, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Alright, this should work. Now, I believe we have our flint and steel. Oh, I guess I didn't. Thought I had it on me. Wait, what? Where is my flint and steel? Not in here. Okay, I'll just make another one then. Flint and steel. Where's the flint and steel? Oh, there it is. It's just very hard to see because of its texture. It was right there. I thought that was like some kind of tiny flint or something. Alright. There we are. A little bit of fire. And as you can see, power generating 4. we'll do that. And if we take this off, oh yeah, check it out, guys. We have flight. We have done it. We have achieved actual flight. Very cool. All right, so what is this? This is dark glass. Do I have any dark glass remaining? I do. Awesome. I think this will work out very well to not only match what we have going on over there, but to still be able to see down there and see everything kind of working. Oh yeah, that is a lot nicer. I will not lie. So, it's a little different in here, but I think it's kind of neat. Not too bad. Now we can add more, obviously, later on. We can also, you know, say, forget flying for the moment. If we wanted to put more stone burnt in here, we could let that resonator do its thing if we wanted to get more GP running. But for now, this should work out just fine. I think this will work out super well, actually. What I'm going to go ahead and do, though, I'm going to go and leave my jetpack inside of here in case we go out someplace that seems to maybe, I don't know if it's going to chunk load or not. We're going to find out. Let's kind of leave the area. Let's just kind of fly around a little bit. As you can see, this is still relatively fast. Now, we could probably go a little bit faster if we use our slime sling, and would probably keep us going for a long while, as long as we're in flight. So I'm assuming, considering I think we're out of distance of our base, we should be good. All right, that's not too bad, yeah. I think the chunk loading should work, but I still don't know what the issue is with the system actually going down. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. Another way we can actually test this is by going to another dimension, for sure. That would be one way of going about it. So if we pop into the nether real quick, we should be able to see if everything is going to be working the way we want. So let's head down to our portal, jump into the nether real quick, and see exactly what's going to happen. Alright, we still got flight. Alright, that's a good thing. I think this is a good sign. I think we're good. Yes, I do believe we are good. Nice. And considering we can still fly and everything, yep. I say we're going to be doing a lot of flying and exploring now. So this is good stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at maybe some different types of armor. Now, there's some very basic forms of armor. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to make what I want today, but I can try. Not so sure if that's really what I want to do yet. There is something else that would be really, really nice to start working on making for us to actually help us get around a little bit faster as well. What we can do, let's take a look at a, where's it at? Believe there are little devices we can actually make. And I never actually made one before, but I would like to kind of try one out and see. So these are the exchangers, which one of those actually would not be the worst idea in the world either. Ah, there we are. That's what I thought. Transporters. These little guys. They're from a mod called Whoosh. Can't teleport between dimensions. If we go up, though, that message does wind up going away as we get into the higher tier version of these things. So let's go ahead and see what we need to actually make a transporter. And see actually how these things actually work, because I am a little curious myself. Redstone reception coil. We're going to need lead plates. Hammer. 1, 2. And boom, transporter. Very basic. Alright. So we need a way to actually charge this guy up, which isn't bad. We have our energetic infuser. That should work. I need to increase this machine, I think, because this is not charging very fast at all. Press V to change teleportation mode. Level 0 of 100 millibuckets. So let's push U on this real quick and take a look. So you can fill this with resonant ender, which we can get from melting ender pearls in our magma crucible. I'm assuming that is probably another form of fuel we're going to need for that. So let's go ahead and do this. Let our magma crucible do some work on our ender pearls here. We're going to go ahead and pick up this destabilized redstone and replace that back down. How are we doing on this? So this is almost done. Almost done filling up with power, which is good. Okay, this machine is really slow. Did these things get slower? Or is that just me? I kind of feel like they got a little slower. Alright. So... oh. Shift right click teleports you forward some, which is pretty cool. So I believe that's what the blink means. Teleportation mode. Oh, very neat. So let's call this, let's do this. We'll right click, call this home, or lab. Let's call this lab. We'll hit the plus sign. And let's come over this way. Click on lab. Shift right click. Oh. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Alright, let's kind of go a little ways away and just see how well this actually works. Because I'm probably going to check out upgrading this thing. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. So can we set different things in here? And let's say, let's come up to our power area, which I'm not really sure what I'll call this, but we'll call this like our reactor area. Let's add that in. Click on this. Take us to... okay. Lab. Reactor. Oh, that is very neat. That is cool. And they're actually not that hard to make. And we can actually upgrade these, which is really neat. So let's take a look at our transporters again. See what we need to upgrade these. Let's go ahead and make 2 of our Invar plates. And upgrade this one to the hardened version. Electrum. Oh, thank the Lord, we have 2 Electrum ingots. Oh, this is perfect. Very nice. Okay. Now, this version should allow us to go between dimensions, apparently. We're also missing a piece of hardened glass, which is obsidian and lead. Alright, let's grab a little bit of these guys. I'm also going to go ahead and disable this configuration here, so we can get a little bit of that. And a little bit of that. Let that run and do its thing real quick. Let's go ahead and toss our energetic infuser in there. See where we're at on this. Actually, we got 2 of those. Let's go ahead and toss this in here. I'm not entirely sure what the resonant ender does in this guy, but let's go ahead and right click. So you can see our resonant ender is filled here. We have power. So it might be like a backup power source or something. I'm not entirely sure. Teleporting across dimensions consumes fluid. There we go. So the resonant ender is what we use to teleport across dimensions. Not responsible for limbs lost in space-time continuum. Well, that's good to know. It's always good to not be responsible for those horrific things, right? So we got our induction smelter. Let's place our polarized lead in there. Our polarized obsidian. And let's get our little bit of glass we're going to need to upgrade this. I don't see why we don't upgrade this, as not all the way, as obviously, because I don't have resonant. But signalum. What do we need for signalum? We need cryothium. Blizz powder can be made with permafrost. That looks kind of new, but I could be wrong. Snowball with destabilized redstone. Okay. Well, I do believe we have a snowball. We have plenty of snowballs. Good. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. This guy is actually filling up a little bit faster, it feels like. But I could be wrong. Alright, so we are on this version. We need that glass, the hardened glass. So let's upgrade it. Nice, look at that power now. Look at that, 250,000 RF as opposed to what we had before. And then let's just go ahead and make up to the signalum one. So the signalum one's going to require signalum plates. Did I have... Wow! I am getting lucky. I feel lucky having just the right amount of stuff in there. That's insane. Okay. That's good to know. Oh, that's why I always like to make a little extra, just in case later on, you know. Look at that. Blizz powder. So what do we need now to make the cryothium? I believe... Cryothium. There we go. And here we are. We have ourselves a signalum transporter. Oh, that's awesome. Let's right click on that. We can actually hold a ton more fluid, a ton more power, which is very nice. Oh, this is cool. Now that is probably a lot more destabilized redstone than we actually need. So let's go ahead and save that. So this is really nice. And you can actually see when you hover over it, it shows you the one that's so above our, you know, hearts and XP and all that stuff in the middle, bottom, shows us what we're set on, which is currently the lab. So wherever I'm at, shift right click will bring us back to the lab. Oh, that's awesome. The reactor, set, go. That's awesome. And instead of having to go through the nether all of the time and go down to our nether portal, this will definitely save us some, you know, a lot of time. We can go and come inside of our portal, which we really don't even really need the portal itself anymore. We can just go ahead and set this up and just say nether. Add that in. Set us back to the lab, and we're going home. Alright, let's take a quick peek. How much did that use? 250? So it seems like it uses about 1 ender pearl per dimension transport, which is really not that bad considering we have a mob farm and the ability to get goose tongue amounts of... how much power did that use? That did almost drain us. That did use a lot of power too, so... But we do have a lot of, you know, ender pearls, which is wonderful. All that good stuff. So, guys, I am looking pretty good. As far as, I would say, armor's concerned, let's type in chest plate. Now, this is what I was kind of leaning towards getting, for now at least. But this requires flex electrum plates, so we're going to need to make... Flex Electrum Blend, which is Electrum Grit and Destabilized Redstone. That's really not that bad. So I could go through and practically make that. The Flex Crystal, this is a little bit different recipe than I remember. This is the new recipe. This is basically how I remember doing it. It was in the Fluid Transposer with a diamond, giving you the Flex Crystals. Now you need a lot of diamonds in order to make this because, you know, each piece is going to require one of those flux things. And I don't really have a whole bunch of diamonds in here, but we do have a ton of diamond ore, which we can actually start sifting through. In fact, let's take a look at this. Oh, we got 11 of those rhodium crystals. That's not bad. So we can actually go ahead and take a look at our diamond ore real quick. Let's go ahead and poke through some of it. I'm just kind of curious to see how much diamonds we'll actually get from this. Okay, I had 31. And this is all going into the system. Probably from the absorption hopper or my magnet. I'm not entirely sure on which. Alright, we had 31, so that gave us 38 diamonds. That ain't too bad. So I could go through and do that, but I know we're probably want some diamonds for some other things. So, guys, I think that's going to about do it for today. We got ourselves flight achieved. We have our way of getting around a lot easier with our transporter, which is going to require some power usage. Maybe I'll see about upgrading this machine. I'll make some of those upgrades and see if that actually helps increase the speed of this recharge here. We might actually be able to do that real quick. Upgrade. Yeah. Where are those at? Hardened upgrade. We can at least make the first one. Can we make the second one? No. So let's just see if this actually increases then. Pretty sure it will. So, yeah. It takes it up to 100? 75 RF a tick. So I will go ahead and see about upgrading this, because this probably could definitely use a little bit of an upgrade. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode of FTB Revelation. If you guys did, be sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out. Lets me know you guys are enjoying the series still. And be sure, if you really liked it, to hit that subscribe button. And check out some of my other videos, and when I post new ones, with that subscribe button there. I will see you guys here in the next video. Until then, goodbye.